Do you ever have that feeling where, depending on who you're with, you're almost a different person? Like with your work colleagues, you're all business, super analytical, but then you hang out with your childhood friends, and suddenly you're the goofball, cracking all the inside jokes. It's something most of us do, but man, it can feel weird sometimes.
Right? That's the feeling. You start to wonder, wait a minute, am I being fake? Am I just putting on a different mask for everyone I meet? That little voice in your head that whispers, you're being two-faced, it can be really nagging. But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong?
Okay, here's the big reframe. What we've been taught to see as a character flaw is actually a sign of a really sophisticated and flexible mind. In psychology, they call it the chameleon mind. And get this, it's not a weakness. It's one of your most powerful psychological assets. So let's break down the 8 rare traits that show what this is all about.
All right, first up, let's get into the foundational trait, the one that kicks this whole thing off.
Now, this is so important. This isn't you consciously pretending to be someone else. It's much deeper than that. Your brain is actually performing a genuine, seamless transformation. It's reading the social cues in the room and automatically adjusting your entire vibe to build a real connection. It's an unconscious superpower.
So how on earth does your brain pull this off so flawlessly? I mean, it happens in seconds, right? Well, that brings us to the mechanism behind the magic.
You know when you get a gut feeling about a situation? For you, it's not a guess, it's data. Your brain is like a high-powered radar, constantly scanning for the tiniest details most people miss completely. It's why you can feel the tension in a room long before anyone has even said a single angry word. You're reading the code in real time.
But this incredible radar isn't just about what's happening in the here and now. Nope, it's playing a much longer game.
See, your mind doesn't just take a snapshot of a moment. It's watching the whole movie. You're subconsciously tracking people's behaviors over time, connecting the dots between their words and their actions. This makes you a natural pattern hunter, wired to spot when things don't add up. It's how you get such a clear read on people's true character.
So you're absorbing all this social data, seeing all these patterns. What's the result of all that mental processing? Well, that leads us directly to trait number 4.
This is where it all comes together. Having a high emotional IQ means you don't just guess what people are feeling, you know. And because you know, you can respond with what's called emotional accuracy. You address the real emotion hiding behind their words. It's the reason people walk away from conversations with you feeling completely and totally understood.
Okay, so that's the social and emotional side. But what about the pure, raw intellect behind the chameleon mind? How does it actually communicate its intelligence?
I love this. This captures it perfectly. A chameleon mind has the brain power to understand incredibly complex subjects, but its true genius? It's the ability to make those complex ideas simple. You're like a translator, taking dense, abstract concepts and turning them into something anyone can grasp, making everyone in the room feel more brilliant.
All right, next up is trait number 6, and this one reveals a really unique and powerful way of thinking that truly sets this mind apart. So think of it like this. Most people look at a problem through one window. You, on the other hand, have a whole house full of them. You can examine an issue from multiple angles, logically, culturally, emotionally, all at the same time. This multi-lens perception doesn't just make you a better problem solver, it also makes you way, way harder to manipulate. You can spot a flawed argument from a mile away.
Now let's talk about a communication tool that most of the world is deeply afraid of, but that you use as a weapon.
In a world that can't stop talking, you understand the power of the pause. For you, silence isn't awkward. It's not a sign that you're slow or don't know what to say. It's strategic. You're using that quiet moment for mental editing, to filter out the noise, organize your thoughts, and make sure that when you finally do speak, every word lands with impact.
Okay, so this is the big question, isn't it? It's the elephant in the room. If you can fit in absolutely anywhere, does that just make you a people pleaser? A follower? It seems like it would. But this is where the chameleon mind shows its most shocking and, frankly, its most powerful trait of all.
Get ready for it. Here comes the final piece of the puzzle, the big twist. Trait number 8.
And there it is, the great paradox. Even though you have a master key that can open any social door you want, you very rarely use it just to go along with the crowd. Your ability to fit in is a skill, not a need. You are a fiercely independent thinker who questions the status quo when everyone else is just nodding along.
And this right here is the bottom line. For you, blending in is a choice made by a confident mind,
not a need driven by insecurity. You value what is true and what is right far more than you value the temporary comfort of simply belonging to the group. You stand apart because you choose to.
So let's just be really clear. This incredible adaptability of yours, it isn't a sign that you don't have a real self. It's the exact opposite. It's proof that your true self is so big, so dynamic, and so complex that it could never be crammed into just one single boring box.
So, as we close this out, just think for a second. Which one of these traits really hit home? Which one made you go, oh wow, that's me? Because your ability to shift and adapt isn't about being fake. It's about navigating the world with a mind that's uniquely, powerfully, and brilliantly your own.